Good morning. I think this is working. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. You can also find me at Harmony on High Street in Campbelltown, Tasmania. So welcome. I am here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Monday the 13th of October through to Sunday the 19th of October 2025. Before I start, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website or through Harmony on High Street, our gallery and art hub here in Campbelltown. I thank you so much for your support. Your support helps me be able to keep doing what I am doing, and I'm very, very, very grateful. So thank you so much. I am coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 13th of October, and the time is 9:24 a.m. So if you are new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my Oracle cards. These are cards I created and illustrated. I have two decks combined here. We have the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards and my Speed of Light Oracle cards here. And I've made them the same size so that I can fit them together in this fun deck of 110 cards. So I'll be using this deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for this week ahead. And I trust in my cards, and I trust in my process, and I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So what that reason is, I trust will reveal itself to you, and I encourage you to take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go, and let's see what happens. So I am asking the cards to show the majority of us what do we need to know for this week, Monday the 13th of October through till Sunday the 19th of October 2025. Good morning, Matthew. Welcome, and welcome everybody. So I'm asking the cards to show the majority of us what do we need to know between the 13th and the 19th of October 2025. And the best cards that we need are these. So I'll just lay them face down here. Just bear with me a second. Okay, let's start. Monday the 13th of October, we have Speed of Light Oracle cards, and we have the Temple of Maya. This card came up last week. I forget which days it was for. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that. So this is card 51, and it says manifestation, revelation, and purpose. So first of all, this card brings structure. It also can highlight a building of significance. It wouldn't be our everyday building, our home or our workplace. It's something different, something of significance. So if you've got something going on the building fronts, as in a building, that's different to normal, and it's happening at the moment, and this is a card for you too, specifically. But this card brings structure, it brings purpose and meaning. It shows that we are building, hopefully, we are building our life on solid foundations. And if the foundations aren't strong, then maybe there's stripping back, maybe there's a crumbling of sorts of the walls or the structure of our life, so that we can get back to the foundations and create the foundations to be solid, so that we can build the walls and build the structure in our life off those solid foundations. So if we have solid foundations, then we can build something strong. We can build a strong structure that's supportive and stable and secure for us and our loved ones in our life. If the foundations are rocky or questionable, then it's hard to build a solid structure in our life on crumbling foundations. So some of us may be looking at, and maybe we already have been, looking at stripping back the structure and the routine of our life. Maybe this has been happening anyway, and we're right down in the weeds, right down in those very foundations. What do we want to build our life upon? How are we going to build this new start on these solid foundations? What are the foundations? So we might be looking at things like our routine, our finances, our stability or instability, our security or insecurity as well. These might be the sorts of things we're looking at. We might be looking at where can we put our roots down. That might be another thing if we're looking at, or if we're in between residences at the moment, or some things are temporary or are changing in our home situation. This may also be taking us right down to the very foundations. So the foundations, it's not usually a fun thing to establish, are these foundations, but if we can establish solid foundations now, if this is relevant to what we've got going on, and we can build off those foundations, it's going to be worth it in the long run as we move forward. So let's not skip on the really important foundations that we're laying now. So foundations, structure, and finding meaning and purpose. This is all part of this structural energy. It's the order. If we look at chaos and order, this is the order we want to bring forth in our life. So this is quite a nice card to start the week, but it is around at the moment. It did come up last week. So foundations, structure, purpose, a building, or what we are building in our life is probably around or in the air at the moment. So we're going day by day. I've got 7 cards out. So this is Tuesday. Hi everybody, it's great to see you all. This is Tuesday the 14th of October. Animal Kingdom Oracle card. And we have the Wolf. The Wolf is card 48. And it reminds us to secure our boundaries. Make sure our boundaries are secure and healthy. Secure and healthy, supportive. I like to ask myself, are my boundaries supportive and healthy for me? So as we're looking at the structure of our life, as we're stripping down things to our foundations, or we're building on those foundations, and we're trying to create more order and structure and stability and security for us and our loved ones, not only now but for our future, we can also include boundaries in that. This is very relatable to this first card. So boundaries are creating the structure, creating the safety, creating the stability, the protection that we need with strong boundaries. Now, depending on our situation, our boundaries may look like walls, big walls right now if we are under attack, or we're feeling quite unsafe or sensitive. We might have quite strong, close walls around us at the moment. For me, my boundary walls tend to feel like a farm fence. So they're out a little bit of a distance from me, where I exist in my life and the space that I take up. And I imagine that farm-like fence around me, just out a distance away. And from time to time, I need to check and make sure my boundary fence is still functioning, that it doesn't need some repair, or it hasn't become too relaxed or lazy somewhere. So I reasonably regularly need to patrol my boundary fence to make sure it's upright, make sure it's keeping all the livestock I don't want in my space out, and keeping the livestock I've got in my space in. I want to make sure the boundaries are doing their job. So how are your boundaries at the moment? Are they safe and supportive and healthy for you? Or do they need some attention? This may be around, or may be favourable to look at early this week, especially around Tuesday. So let's look at our boundaries if needed. Let's go to Wednesday now. Wednesday the 15th of October. I feel excited about this card for some reason. Wednesday, and a little resistant. Wednesday, we have the Buffalo Woman, card 4, and she says, talents, gifts, skills, and recognition. So this is about taking hold, or taking responsibility for our hobbies and gifts and skills and the development of these things. Now, this could be maybe to do with work. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to advance our skills at work. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to start a new hobby or further develop a hobby. These are things, these feel like things that we apprentice to, things that we learn, things that, like a trade of some sort. It feels practical. It feels like we're building things or making things or creating things. That's what this card feels like right now. And I feel with this totem pole here, it's like this represents all the potential that we can take hold of and bring forth into our life. If only we would take hold of this totem and use it as a way to orientate ourselves in our life, or in the direction that we're going in our life, or we could say on our life's path, that we can take the reins, we can take hold of that potential and work with it to see if we can better ourselves and better our relationships and better our life, instead of allowing the dramas and the stresses of life to take over, and it feels like the reins of our life just slip further and further away. How can we put the stresses aside, even temporarily, so we can get hold of those reins? Feels like the reins of a horse or this totem pole, and it's just there, sort of in our reach, or probably just out of our reach. But if it's out of our reach, what can we do to really reach forward and grab the reins and pull the reins forward towards, or pull them back actually, towards our body, so we can take hold of the reins of our life? And especially in regards to crafts or making things or creating things or building things or developing our skills or hobbies, that sort of thing. What can we do to take the reins of that and figure things out? If there's something we want to learn but we can't find a place to learn it, then there's heaps of options probably online. Are ways that we can step up and make it happen. If we want to join a photography group and there's no photography group around us, then let's start one. So there are ways we can take the reins and stop holding back and holding ourselves back, waiting for something to happen or waiting for the reins to come to us. It's up to us to find them and grip them and bring them to us, so that it's almost like a move of power, a move of responsibility, a move of readiness, as we find these reins, grab them and bring them towards us with power and with purpose, and be ready to steer this horse. So I'm really seeing it as a horse, to steer ourselves as the horse in our lives moving forward, to make our life count and take steps to do that. So it feels exciting. There feels to be a little bit of resistance around it, just with my initial feeling before I even turned the card. There was an excitement, but also a resistance. So there might be a bit of a fear, like I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm capable of doing it. I don't know if I've got the resources to do it. There might be these sorts of things trying to talk us out of it. But if we can sort of push those aside, push the stresses aside, push those things distracting us aside, it's like a bunch of distractions just sort of moving across the screen here. No. We push them aside and we reach out and we grab the reins and we pull them forward. Pull the reins forward, take charge of our life again, and then move forward wherever it is that we're going to go. And it's probably linked, that next step, with something to do with a hobby or advancing our skills. So it feels exciting actually around midweek. That's Wednesday. This is Thursday the 16th of October. And this is an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. And it is the Condor. The Condor is card 50, and it says to expand your horizons. Expand your horizons. So I kind of get this visual after this, taking our reins back. As we take our reins back, we're going to be able to see further ahead, and also more of an expanded, wider view of the horizon before us. Now, what is the horizon? The horizon is potential for our future. It is hope about things improving or moving in a new direction, or a turning point, or a breakthrough of some sort. Now, if we're just got all these stresses come in, like this noise, like this ongoing ruckus, this drama that's just playing out, and it's come across in front of us and it's trying to distract us from life, from our path, then if we can push that aside, grab those reins as we sit on this horse of ours, and then with this kind of distraction, this ruckus, this madness, with this aside, we can probably up on the vantage point of our horse, so a little higher, we can see further ahead. So see more of the horizon. This is hope. This is hope for our future. We might not know clearly what it is that we're moving towards, but we might find some of us, especially if we've been just so drowning in the noise and the stress and the pressure and what happened, if we've been drowning in that so much, if we can even get that aside for a moment, we may find a huge sense of relief and a sense, probably for the first time in a while, of some type of hope for the future. Like, actually, I am going to get through this. I am getting through this problematic time in my life, or whatever it is that we're doing. So the condor brings an expanded horizon. It brings an expanded vision. It brings hope and potential for further into our future than we perhaps could see before. So we are ready to see and expand our horizons and the potentials that exist. That's Thursday. This is for Friday, the 17th of October. Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. We have a featured card. This is a featured timing card. It has further instructions here, which say to take the top card from the deck. So that's easy. I just go back to my deck. I've got Speed of Light Oracle card here. And we have Gaia. Okay, these two cards have come up together for a reason. For Friday, we'll look at them separately, kind of, and then we'll look at their relationship together. This is card 52, Solar Cycle, and it talks about a 24-hour period or 1 day cycle. This is the cycle of the sun, we could say. So this is very immediate. This is very much now. It's like taking 1 day at a time. It's like just getting through our day. Okay, we did our best. What can we do to improve tomorrow a little bit? And then we get into tomorrow. So it's like 1 day at a time. 1 day at a time. Now, this may also be highlighting a 24-hour-ish period on Friday or around Friday. So there might be a sort of 24-hour-ish period for us to look at. Now, it comes up with Gaia. This is card 33. And it says, Spring Nature Message, Listen and Life. This is an inspiring card. It talks about life calling us. Now, it could be nature calling us. Some of us may feel inspired to step out into nature. Maybe we want to lay under the sun or stand or sit under the sun and just feel the strength and the warmth of the sun on our body, maybe to help us heal. But there does feel to be some emergence of power or emergence of strength that I'm feeling this week. Some of us who have perhaps felt a bit weakened of late might start to feel we're getting our strength back. So there might be strength that we can soak up in the sun, for example, if we're inspired to do that. But nature calls us, perhaps the sun specifically. This card also shows us that life is calling us. So not only nature, but life. Spring is in the air. Blossoms are coming out. The birds are singing. The bees are buzzing. And life is calling us, and life is showing us that life is there. And how can we recognize that and then embody it and feel the life that we see outside of us in nature is also a part of the life that exists within us. So life is calling us, nature is calling us, and we might find around a 24-hour period, we might find that we feel quite connected to nature, connected to life, or wanting to breathe and bring life back in to our life and to ourselves, especially if we've been feeling a bit dead inside. There is a feeling of a re-emergence of power, a reconnection to the important things, and a strength that we may not have felt for a while. Okay, Saturday, Animal Kingdom Oracle, this is the 18th, and it is the Stag. It's the Stag card 42, and it says new direction. So there's a new energy that's coming with this strength, and maybe the strength that we're tapping into bit by bit, day by day. Maybe this is the calling, the new direction that we've wanted. The structure as well, the structure and the order that we've been asking for and we've been looking for. It almost feels the worst is behind us. There's that sort of feeling here, which feels like a great relief. So the Stag is about direction. This is about our path. It's about our future. It's about where we're going. Direction is about our path moving forward. There is a feeling here of trusting our instincts as we are led in the right direction. And it's like the Stag's antlers here are like antenna. And as we stand on our path, maybe like we're sitting on a horse holding these reins, and if we're a stag with antlers sitting on the horse, quite the visual, it's like we turn our head or turn our body, and it's like a satellite dish here, and the stag is picking up the best signal, which is the best path to take moving forward. And this is what we detect from our instincts and our intuition. So we might find, especially as we move towards the weekend, our intuition starts becoming clearer. So as the strength comes in, as the structure comes in, a clarity potentially comes in too. And with this clarity, we can trust in our instincts and our intuition. With this clarity comes perhaps an indication or a sign, a synchronicity of our path or the next step to take or the direction we want to go in. We might not be moving in that direction right this second, but it could be something like the next step plan, or, yes, I'm going to follow this path, and it might take me a few weeks perhaps to get prepared for that, but I've got that clear signal now in regards to which direction I'm going, and the direction is new. This is a new direction, so it's something different than what we've been potentially experiencing before. We can trust our instincts. Now, Sunday the 19th of October is a Speed of Light Oracle card, and it is the Yogi, card 32. He says, epiphany, learn, lead, and comprehend. So an epiphany, this is a light bulb moment. This is the aha moment. Now I get it. Now I see why I had to go through that, or why that happened, or why I feel this way. So there's something drops in, like a light bulb turns on, a clarity pops or drops down into us potentially around Sunday, but I'm going to say around the weekend itself, because this may also prompt the new direction. Or we might find too, as we get those stresses and distractions, things that have been distracting us out of the way, and we take the reins back and we step into our power a little bit at a time, a little bit more and a little bit more, as we trust in our instincts. Then we might find, with this stuff all cleared out of the way and we're sort of taking hold of our life, even though we may not clearly know what we're doing next or where we're going next, it's like something clears the storms part, which allows that epiphany, that light bulb moment to drop in, that I get it now. So that brings with it clarity and also knowledge or wisdom. So this is really powerful too, is tapping into that wisdom as to understanding a little bit deeper why something happened, or why it happened the way it did, or why we had to make that decision and we didn't really know why at the time. So there's learning energy here, there's leading energy here. So the student and the teacher, as we learn as we go and we lead as we go. So quite a powerful way to end the week. So a lot different to last week. Last week was very mental, very windy and wild, very scattered and chaotic. And it's like the energy starting, that chaotic energy from last week is finding its place or finding its order. So it's up to us to step through the chaos, grab the reins and find the order and bring the order into our life. It's not going to happen on its own. So that's that. Thank you so much. I am going to pull a theme card in just a moment. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. And if you'd like to connect more privately, you can always send us a private message or connect through email. If you'd like to learn more about the cards I've used today, you can learn more about them on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. What else have we got coming up? So we've got our Harmony on High Street's first birthday happening the 22nd and the 23rd of November. So if you're in Tasmania, there are going to be clay workshops, artist demos and other fun things too. But if you're interested in that, please have a look at my Harmony on High Street Campbelltown Facebook page for all the information. I've also booked in 2 painting retreats for Tasmania. So one is happening in May next year and the other one's happening in August next year, 2026. So if either of those might interest you, if you want to come to Tasmania for a couple of days, then please have a look on my ceramics website. That's leannepeters.com. I think that's all mainly that's going on. So thank you so much. Now let's find the best theme card. This feels exciting. So the theme card will help us see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is always good to try and find. Sometimes it's hard to find, but if we can find it, we can understand a little bit broader or clearer what's going on for us at the time. So this is our bigger picture card. It's our theme. It's going to bring the whole week together. And the best card for the theme for the majority of us for the 13th to the 19th of October is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card. And it is the Tree Maiden. This is adding a little bit of interest to the week actually. It says ending, surrender, growth and illumination. This is like a magnifying glass. It's like a spotlight, and because it's a theme card, it's holding a spotlight on this week. We could also add its potency having this card because the solar cycle is also a little bit like a spotlight, the spotlight of the sun coming up. So there might be things amplified this week. There might be things blown out of proportion this week, especially if we're not removing those distractions, like really saying, enough's enough, I'm done with you, out of the way, you're blocking me from moving forward. Now, it could be like an old grief, it could be a situation that's hovering or a fear, it could be our own insecurities or limitations, or just distractions in the world. It could be fear of something that's not even relevant to us. So these energies will probably be loud, and if we don't make an effort to clear them out of the way, to get hold of these reins, it's probably going to get louder. So if we do clear them out and we're looking for the reins are probably going to get louder, which is great because it means the spotlight's on them, we could probably more easily see them, and we can grab them and pull them towards us so that we can take charge of our life. What else have we got going on? It might be a spotlight on the horizon of the future, of the new direction that is revealing itself. The clarity, the synchronicities, the signs could be under a spotlight. So I think the key is really that we need to make sure we're not distracted, because the distractions will be louder, the stresses will be louder, the fear will be louder if we don't make an effort early in the week to just really shove them out of the way. We just have to get rid of them. We have to show them the door. They can't take hold and rule over us any longer. We will not allow it. So that will be amplified if we don't step up and step away from those distractions. What are they, and what can we do about getting rid of them so we can get back in charge of our life again? So under the spotlight, things will probably be amplified under the spotlight in a good way or a not so good way if we're not following that, if we're not following the lead of what it's trying to show us so that we can move away and move forward. This is talking about endings. There might be doors that need to close this week. They might be necessary. They may be compulsory. We may have to just close some doors and say, maybe part of getting this energy out, we may be saying enough is enough. I close the door on this now, and close the door on it. We may want to visualize that. So there are endings. There is potential requirement for surrender, as in surrendering our hold, or surrendering the hold that something has over us, or that someone has over us. Could be even a stress or a distraction that has over us. Surrendering our hold and letting that part end, closing the door. Now, growth is promised as we do this. So things are louder because they're trying to get our attention. So what's trying to get our attention? What can we do about it? Do we need to close some doors? Is this situation supporting our growth, or are we being subdued and constricted and suppressed and held back? If we're not growing, then it may need closing, but it depends on the situation. So it's quite intense, but I feel underneath there is a deep sense of personal power, a revival and re-emergence of power within us this week. So have a good week. I trust this resonates. Thank you so much for joining me, and sending you lots of love from my heart to yours from Tasmania, Australia. Thank you so much, and we'll connect again soon.